see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboys fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, guys, any...
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Coast to Coast. I am your host, Pags. With me, I've got Bo in the middle, McLovin on the side. Look at that, way early. We're not used to this. We're not used to having him here before the show starts. How was your holiday weekend? At least we're on a holiday today, so I'm going to call it a holiday weekend.
Yeah, I'll start real quick. It was interesting to me. I didn't bet on any of them, and I certainly didn't watch because I had so many things going on. But my Facebook friends groups are all blowing up with people betting on Luka Doncic at the All-Star game, and I guess he didn't go all out. I guess he didn't go out there and razzle-dazzle because I guess everybody's losing money on Luka, and I guess his piss poor performance. I don't know. Did you guys catch it?
I watched 0 parts of the All-Star game, and then when I saw the score, I was glad I watched 0 parts of the All-Star game. 211
it was funny. It was funny. We talked about it a little bit in my living room beforehand, and I had no interest in watching it either. A game that has the potential of anybody scoring 200 points in it is not a game I'm interested in watching at all. And we made a joke about it, saying that if you want to watch a game 200 to 190, then that's a great game for you to watch. They never hit 200 before.
Nope.
Can't say that anymore.
Nope.
They
were close to both hitting 200.
Yes, it was. I think it was what two.
It was 211 to 186.
Yeah,
211 to 186. That's what was really crazy.
That's ridiculous.
168 3-points were shot.
Yeah. Why?
Exactly.
Does anybody know how to play defense anymore? Does anybody interested in playing defense anymore? You know what? If Kobe Bryant was in this game, he might have been able to keep that score lower.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, it only takes one person. It only takes one person to start playing defense, and everybody starts to play a little bit more defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and that's I watched a video this morning as I was going through my Instagram of Kobe Bryant talking about how it's ridiculous on what the All-Star game has become, and that it shouldn't be anywhere near it whatsoever, like what it is.
So now it's like basketball, football, those Pro Bowls or All-Star games are pretty much out the window. Is baseball kind of the only one left that does anything, or is baseball kind of going
Hockey changed theirs so that it made it more interesting. So what they did is they put $1 million, fee if you're the winner, and they put it into 4 teams and play 3-on-3 hockey. So it's a lot more open ice. It's a lot more scoring. However, good goaltending is going to help you win $1 million.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, you still got to play baseball.
Right.
So then why doesn't the NBA take that page from hockey and incentivize it like that for better productive play or better play? Or do they just not care?
So they don't care. Think about it. Your average game now is more than what the All-Star game used to be. Like that's the defense that's being played week in and week out now. So they just don't care. Scott Van Pelt actually came out, I believe it was this morning, and he's just like, obviously they don't care, and honestly, if you don't care, we don't care. Meaning he's not even going to watch this thing. He's the dude for SportsCenter, right? Like he's that guy, and he's just like, yeah, maybe we just don't care about the All-Star game anymore.
Right. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And truth of the matter is that who cares? Like, do we need to see it anymore? Like I said, it would be more fun. It would be more fun if they had Regular people. Again, add the fans. Make the fans involved. Get the fans
Right.
out there and playing basketball with these guys, which would look absolute. That would be hysterical because you got some guy who's like 5'10" trying to dribble a basketball around you know, like that's what you should do. 5-on-3, 5 fans versus 3 all-stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
That would be
Because you know what,
amazing.
guys? Even the All-Star, even the slam dunk, that was the beginning of it for me. The slam dunk contest. If you see how bad that's become, like there's no real Dominique Wilkins type guys anymore, or Vince Carter or whatever. Now you just
Well, the
got
guy
it's
who won it
almost a
last year
joke.
won it again this year, and he
Yeah,
is as tall as I am. You know what I
yeah,
mean? His name is Mac McClung. I got to serve
yeah,
some chicken with him, or I got to get some chicken from him at a Raising Cane because we did an
yeah.
appearance together after he won.
Hmm.
Right.
God bless him. You know what I mean? The kid is 6'1", and that's his claim to fame. That he is the NBA dunk champion 2 years running.
Sure.
Because it's actually cool to watch somebody who's short dunk that basketball, and that guy can fly. It's almost like he's got stilts in his legs or something like that. Some type of way to be able to jump up higher. You know what I mean? Like he's got
Yeah.
springs in his shoes or something
Yeah.
because he jumps higher than anybody else that I know. You know what I mean? It's just like he's
Mm-mm.
got this amazing ability. He
Yeah.
jumped over Shaq.
Yeah.
Oh, that tells you something if you're jumping over Shaq.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And that's one of the downfalls to like the dunk contest is they had to fill in with guys from the G League, right? Like they had guys from the G League involved, which means you can't even get enough participation by your actual NBA guys.
Right.
Well, you
Because
know
you
why?
have to
Because
opt
the
in.
truth of the matter is that back in the day, back in the day of Dominique Wilkins and
Sure.
Dr. J and things like that, they actually played and practiced some of these things. They
Yes.
Right.
don't do that anymore. They shoot 3-pointers.
Yep.
So
Right.
realistically, truth of the matter is that they shouldn't have a 3-point contest anymore. They have this interactive court now.
Yep.
They
Yep.
should play interactive horse.
Yeah, that would be kind of
Okay.
cool. I could get
Sure.
into that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
would be a great way of doing that. Like, okay, here's the spot. Not on the 3-point line, 6 feet back from the 3-point line.
Sure.
Here's the shot right there, like in the corner where you got to do a hook shot. You know what I mean? Those
Yeah.
are the kind of things that would be kind of cool to see. Like they really need to innovate here a little bit. The
They
Yeah.
do.
dunk
An
They
actual
do.
contest,
skills challenge.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
the
the
dunk
skill challenge
contest,
is
I'm
still
not
cool. I
really.
like the skill challenge, right? I mean, because it shows different skill sets. I think what like almost goes to what Pags is saying, but I also like what Pags is saying. Well, I like the horse. So if you had the horse and the skill challenge, now that'd be
Well,
pretty cool.
it was like one of the guys in the skills challenge, rather than actually trying to win, he just went out there. I forget who it was, and was just shooting left-handed and missed everything.
Right.
I mean, it was close-ish, but like why are you there if you're not trying to win? I don't know. Again, maybe I'm just hyper competitive, and it doesn't matter what I'm playing. I want the
Well, truth of the matter is that he knows he's not going to beat Steph Curry.
sure.
That's the thing. You're not. What are you
We're gonna
trying?
try.
It's like just like they should have. They should have like during this entire time a free throw competition where you shoot till you miss, and how many in a row can you get?
Sure.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
that's pretty cool.
Again, but you'd have to have that. Like, okay, you're using half of the court, and the other half of the court is for that. And you're just throwing the ball over to him, and he keeps making it. And he's like, okay, we've got 40, we've got 50, we got 60. I mean, what was it? I mean, Larry Bird, when he was doing that it wasn't even a competition. He was just doing, he had made 92 in a row,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
92 free throws. And this is in regular season games.
Yeah.
92 free throws in a row. That 93rd free throw, you could tell his hitch was like way off. Like you just made something happened and the hitch was off and it was a bad shot
He
in
probably just
general.
got tired as hell shooting that damn ball.
Well, no, it wasn't like 92 in a row
Yeah.
Oh,
because
okay.
that's a whole different scenario now.
You'd be
Now your
gassed.
arm gets tired after a little while.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, this was like 92 over the course of however many games.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. You know, it would be kind of cool though. That would be. I would like to even see that is see who can make the most free throws in a row. That would be pretty cool. I could
Yeah,
get
I
into
mean,
that.
because ultimately your arm's going to get tired as well.
Oh yeah,
I mean, these guys have practiced. They could take 500 free throws. You know what I mean? I would love to see if somebody can make 100 free throws in a row. Like that's
that would be
something to
pretty cool.
see. That is something to see. You know,
Right.
it's like, okay, all right, you get 50. If you make 50 out of 50, you're done. You get to take a break for a few minutes. And
Yeah.
then the next person can go. You know what I mean? It's like, or do
Or
it
you can
20
even
at a
do it like a
time.
home run derby where you get so much time to see how many free throws you can make in X time, and then you do rounds of that.
Right.
Yep.
That's kind of
That
what I'm
would even
getting
be
at.
kind of cool.
See now, but you want something else because shooting free throws is boring as hell. So
True.
you'd have to
Yeah.
again, you'd have to start doing something else on the other side. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Which kind of goes back to the horse. I could see the horse being a cool thing because you could do rounds of that. And that wouldn't be so boring because you could do different shots, different difficulty levels, whatever the case may be, right? So that would be cool.
well, and I like that. Like I said, especially since they have that now, the ability to do the interactive court
Right.
where they could kind of do that and just be like, okay, here's the spot where we're going to shoot from. Here's the spot we're going to shoot, and so on and so forth. Until somebody you can call it pig instead or whatever
Yeah.
you want to do it. ASG All-Star Game. That's what you're
Yeah.
playing.
Absolutely.
It's
You could play with that.
yeah, it's just three. You miss three and you're out. You know what I mean? And and you
I mean, you'd
have
have to
10
do that to
players.
speed it up.
Yeah, because you don't want to do like horse is too long.
Exactly.
Oh, he would be
So
good.
you want to do three. Um, but I like the idea again. You know, having like five non-players versus three, all-stars. Like that's
Right.
hysterical to me. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
And
I mean,
it
I
does
guess
get
they're
the
afraid
fans
of
involved.
injuries on the players
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
how many guys are going to be hacks?
All of them. All
Yeah,
of them.
like I ain't shooting the ball. I'm passing, and I'm a good bounce passer. That's the one thing I'm really good at. I'm good at the bounce pass. You know, you ask me to take a shot, I can barely make a layup sometimes. It's
I
just
would love to see Pags do a layup. That would be awesome.
But no, I mean, I can do a layup. I mean, especially if there's nobody guarding me or anything like that, I can go up there and just get it right up and in. I'll use the backboard the right way. I know you go hit the box and it goes in. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of how that works.
Yeah.
Hey, I was on the court. I had one free throw shot. I go out there and I even said, you go back in my videos. I even said, Ben Simmons, take some notes. And then I went in and I made that shot. It was like I just made this, that buzzer beater to win Game 7 of the NBA championship.
Yeah, I made the mistake one time of going against a couple of when I was in my Army days. I went up because we had to do PE for the Army or whatever, and we went out there and played basketball. And these kids are much younger than I am. I think I'm like in my late 40s. These kids are like just popped their first pimple. I mean, they're like probably in their early 20s, and that lasted for about 8 minutes. And I said, "Yep, sub," and I just sat down. I sat down. I said, you know what? I'm gonna be a spectator the rest of this game. My cardio was terrible. My knees were terrible, and I just got tired of looking like crap. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the leg press and crush all of you kids. Let's go. and I realized that was my thing. I'm not a basketball guy. Back in those days when I had good ligaments, I could lift weights, and that was my shtick. And I said, you know what? This is where I'm at. If you want to find me, yeah, basketball's not it.
So I'm not sure what you guys did this weekend. I happened to go to an outdoor hockey game.
Nice.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
so the Stadium Series included the Flyers versus the Devils. And, as much as I hate to say it, the New Jersey Devils have had the Flyers number for a long, long time. And it just seems like it's so frustrating because I can't stand the Devils. I don't hate them as much as I hate the Pittsburgh Penguins, but I can't stand them. And the Flyers, I will say, has been the one team that I grew up with. That taught me the Flyers as a team taught me how to be a fan. So I learned how to become the fan that I am
Right.
today by watching hockey. My mother worked at the Spectrum, and I would always think that I was going to see her, because while they're showing the game, I never saw her because she worked in a restaurant there, and they never put that restaurant on the ice, so it was never going to. Yeah, but when you're 2 and 3 years old, you don't know any different.
Heck
Oh,
no.
mommy's at work. Mommy's at work. Maybe I can see her. I remember telling her I saw her. She's like, "You didn't see me." I'm like, "No, but nobody didn't know you didn't see me."
Yeah.
All right, mom. I guess I didn't see you. So, but I tell you,
Wow. Yeah.
I will say this: going to outdoor hockey games, although the idea is great, they suck. It sucks.
Yeah.
Just because it's hard to watch because you're in a football stadium,
Yeah.
and it would be kind of cool if they made the rink the size of the football stadium, or like the size of the football field. Like
Now
that would be
that would
kind of
be cool.
cool. That would be kind of cool.
And just
It'd
let
be
the
like,
entire team play.
no, just
No
still
bench
do it.
players.
You wind up having a lot more space. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
'cause otherwise, it's like
it's
watching
just
two little dots
it would
go
be
by.
like watching 3-on-3 hockey, but
Yeah.
except it's 5-on-5 because you have the extra space. The speed
Yeah.
would be better. The game would be a little bit different and better. Um,
Yeah.
that being said, they're not going to do that, obviously, because these
No.
games count.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
problem. These games are going to count, and they're not going to do that. However, it would be cool if they did that for an all-star game. Now that would be better. Like make the hockey rink much bigger for an all-star game. That game don't count. That makes more sense.
Right.
You have a 100-yard hockey rink. That would be really freaking awesome. You know what
It'd
I
be
mean? I
entertaining.
think it would be. It would be a lot of fun.
But
And I
they
think
would be,
that
like, way
makes
up
more
there in the
sense.
crappy seats, and then you got to watch like the jumbotron to really watch the game, because if you try to watch the game, it's just looking like little dots going around,
Yeah, you
and I'll
can't.
be like,
There were a few things that they did that I thought was really cool. That they had, you could watch the game on one big screen, and on the other big screen over here, they had uh, the dots. They showed where the puck was. They showed where each
Hmm.
player was. They showed them numbered and how
right,
they're skating around and stuff like that. I kind of like that whole idea. I mean, just because I'm a hockey fan, I understand what they're doing, so it's not ridiculous to me. Uh,
Yeah.
right,
the security guard that I was standing next to, because I went down towards the field for a little while, and they let me go wherever I want to because they all know me at MetLife Stadium because I'm there so frequently, and they're like, "You're the Eagles guy, aren't you?" And I'm
yeah,
like, "Yes." They're like, "That's awesome that you do hockey too," So they let me stand wherever I want to, and ultimately, I was teaching the girl about hockey,
Nice.
because she's like, I don't know anything about hockey. I just, I watch football and soccer a little bit, but I have no idea about hockey. I said, listen, I said, it's hard, especially from where we're at here. We can only see half the ice. The other half of the
right,
ice, the boards are up there. So if they had clear boards so that all of the boards were plexiglass, that would be even better, or something so that you could actually see
right,
if you were down low where
Yeah.
the puck is and how things are going and stuff like that, how they mush up against the boards and stuff like that would be also kind of cool to do. Um, I don't know that they have the ability. I don't know that the glass has the same type of ricochet value on a puck that that the boards do. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
that's
Because
that's going to
well,
play a
they
part.
got that tempered glass, right? That usually, and I'm sure they got different thicknesses of tempered glass they could probably put up. They might be able to do something
Well,
like that.
and that tempered glass is about a half-inch thick,
Yeah,
and it's a hard fiberglass. You know what I mean? It's a tempered fiberglass.
right,
It's not really a glass per se, although it does
right,
shatter like glass when you have that break. Like
Yeah.
if
right,
the puck hits it a specific way, it will shatter like that. Uh, however, it's more of a fiberglass. You know what I mean? It's not, and when it shatters, it spiders like a windshield.
Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah.
it just crumbles, straight down, and nothing can go through it. But you know, I'm not a fan of preparing myself for a football game to watch hockey.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it is. Yeah,
That's
I can see that.
It gets cold. It gets cold,
It
and
does. I don't know.
when you're doing a hockey game, you're sitting down more frequently. There's
Yeah.
not much to cheer about as half the time.
True.
So it's not like you can go, yeah, let's go Flyers, let's go, yeah, go crazy. It's because it's not there to do. You
Well,
have
one
to.
thing is like Melanie was telling me, my wife, she's a Dallas. She lives in Dallas, and she's gone to a couple of Dallas games and stuff like Mavericks and Stars games. And she was saying, I guess they put the court obviously right on top of the ice, and I guess it's cool. I guess when you're playing down there, can you? I guess you can feel some of the coldness down there if you're playing basketball, if it's been on top of the ice, or like I wonder how that
No,
works.
no. It doesn't go right on top of the ice. So what they'll do is they actually put down like a rubber matting, a thick rubber matting that's about an inch thick
Yeah.
over top of the ice, and then they have to put a substrate on top of that, and then the wood. The reason being is that they have to do all of that because you do not want to have any moisture
Mhm.
coming
Oh,
through
okay.
from the
Down the wood
ice
floor.
Yeah, because that would
to the
mess up the
wood.
wood or mess up the buckling or
Correct.
whatever,
Well,
right?
well,
Yeah.
the one thing you can't have is the wood starting to sweat.
Right. Because then
Yeah,
people be sliding
dudes
and
get
doing
hurt.
whatever.
Yeah.
Which that
Yeah.
totally makes sense. That's what Melanie was telling me too. She was giving me hands. She was like, "No, they put down rubber, man. They don't just." And I'm like, "Okay, that's what Paxton said." So that does make sense. Okay, okay.
See, so
Interesting.
she understands. I can
If she's
appreciate
standing
the
there
fact that
directing
she's
traffic.
making sure the dogs are quiet, and everything.
Hey, she does
One day we're
say
going to ask. One day we're going to ask what's in that box behind you.
people.
People. Plastic lined. All right.
Hey, listen, I can't tell you what. No, it's. I told you it's bed frames because we're setting or it's stuff that goes for bed frames. Yeah, because. I like
know,
my
you're getting ready to
my
go
closet
move.
was only so big, Pags. It was only so big, and then I had to start putting stuff in the house. So I'm just waiting. I told the guy yesterday. I said, "Listen, man, my house looks like a storage facility. People are asking me to buy boxes. We got to get this damn house done."
I figured you'd have just moved the box.
To where? The whole damn house is boxes. I walk around. It's like I live in a warehouse.
Nice.
Go to Q34. Q34 is in the bathroom. Okay.
You know what they say: never drink in prime, right? Don't drink in prime.
Exactly. So going back to basketball before like I said, well, let me finish with the hockey and then we'll go back to the All-Star game for a minute. So yeah, I mean the Flyers lost 6-3. It, you know, again, New Jersey's had our number for a long time. It sucks that they can't seem to beat them. And our record during outdoor games sucks. Just
Oh, yeah.
sucks. I think we've won one game out of the 7 or 8 that we've been in. Maybe even less. Maybe it was like 5 or 6 games.
Still not great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, one game out of that's just not very good at all. Although the one game we did win was against the Penguins, and it was in overtime, and they were ahead by like 3 goals. We came back and wound up winning that game, and that was a cool game to win. But other than that, it was it was fun. It's fun to hang with some Devils fans. You know what I mean? It's like I always like to make fun because I love to say that the Devils fans, that there's a whole 13 of them. They all showed up, at this game. There are a few Devils fans that do paint their face similar to me. So we did get us all together. You know what I did find out? That David Putty, the guy who is known from Seinfeld, I learned this. He's a Kings fan. He only goes to 2 Devils games a year. He gets paid by the Devils to come there, but he's a Kings fan.
Oh, funny.
So I was like, really? I'm always compared to this guy, and this guy's not even a Devils fan. Like, really? Like, but I did go and I did see a couple of the Devils fans. There was 4 guys there that had their face painted, 3 of which I knew. And it's like it's fun to have that type of bantership where you put us together and all of a sudden everybody wants a picture because we're all doing our pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's compare notes on makeup, I guess, a little bit. It's funny that the one guy uses lipstick as his makeup.
Oh, nice. Well,
So
I was going to ask you about that. So I've seen all the super fans of football, right? The Raiders definitely got a lot of super fans out there, and
Sure.
Dog Pound, whatever. Baseball, basketball, whatever, hockey. I mean, they're just as many super fans like you are. out there, or is it a little bit
No,
different?
no, very, very few. I will go as far as to say with hockey, there is a small amount. There are some, but there's a small amount. The Devils are the ones that I know the best. I
Okay.
don't know anybody who does paints their face for the Rangers or the Islanders or even the Penguins. There's somebody who always shows up with their face painted, but like not anything that's specific like the way I do it.
Right.
So,
Okay.
but like the Devils guys, they do their own specific stuff, and they're known. You know what I mean? They get out there a little bit. Um, for basketball, I don't know of anybody who paints their head for basketball. I haven't run into any of them. The super
Right.
fans for basketball are super fans because they are able to afford the packages that they get.
Right.
Like everybody knows the Toronto super fan, and I think I don't mean to be disrespectful in any way. I think he goes by Turban Guy
Oh,
because he wears a turban. You know what I mean? I guess he's Hindu or what have you and stuff like that. But he owns, I think, car dealerships, and
okay.
he can afford to sit there on the floor.
Yeah, of course, because them
The
seats,
six,
them seats are like car seats. Like you can buy a car for what you pay for those seats almost.
oh
I
my God,
mean,
Oh,
the six
for sure.
man for the Sixers, the six man for the Sixers. If you are living anywhere on a campus in Philadelphia, a college campus, you are
yeah.
renting his property.
Oh, crazy.
That's so just to give you the
Wow.
idea of who that guy is. He's like, but he sits right next to the bench.
Yeah.
Like it's the scorer's table, then it's his four seats, and then it's the bench. So I got to imagine he invests what's that, $250,000
Yeah.
for each one of those seats.
Crazy.
Wouldn't
That's
be wouldn't
insane.
Yeah, it would be about $1 million,
That's
I'd
just
figure, a season.
insane.
That's just the regular season. That's
Yeah.
just for the preseason and the
That's
41
insane.
games. Go to the postseason. Imagine what those tickets cost. I mean, I
Oh
know that
yeah.
to sit on the opposite side, you need to have anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000 per ticket to sit on the court.
Wow.
Just that next
That's
layer back is like $1,000. The game that I went to, I was 7 rows back behind the Sixers bench, and that was even a few $100s a ticket. Like I spent $500 for 2 tickets. So I
man.
mean, there's a lot of money that's being
It's
spent.
just
You go
insane to
sit on
me.
the
Yeah, it's
floor.
insane.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
It's
basketball is
insane.
big business. I mean, there's a reason
It is.
why these guys get paid
Yeah.
a tremendous amount of money. You know what I mean?
Oh, of
That's
course.
why they can afford. That's why you have guys like Devin Booker, LeBron James making 50 million a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't hear many baseball players. I mean, you do now,
No.
but you don't hear many baseball players making 50
No.
million.
I
You
mean, there's
don't
only
hear
maybe
you
a
don't
select
hear
few, right? That make that.
hockey
Maybe
players.
Joey Otani type guy or something.
Well,
But you gotta have
Otani's like
something
70
like that.
million.
Yeah.
Otani, and then there's Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's everybody
That's
else.
it.
Yeah.
Right. It's just so it's like all those other
Football, it's a
sports are
couple of
not making
quarterbacks.
that type of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just stupid
So
money, man.
I mean, you're
And
now
theirs is
seeing
fully
quarterbacks
guaranteed.
make 40.
Yeah. Well,
Some
and in
some are in the
basketball,
50 range.
it's fully guaranteed too. So it's not even like
Yeah, you're right.
it's incentive to get there. Like this is what your contract is.
I mean, what? There's
Well,
only a handful that maybe probably make 50. I think Patrick Mahomes. I think Aaron Rodgers. Either they make the 50 million, but then there's everybody else.
Yeah, I think Wilson is
I
very
think Russell Wilson's in that 50 million. I think I
Okay.
think what's his name? Cousins was making 50 million last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
close to it anyway, I think.
I
Yeah.
think it was
But I mean, it's
49. I think
still,
it was 49.
yeah, exactly. And still, so I mean, it's only a handful in any of them. But yeah, I mean, for basketball, it's a lot of them. Not to say that there's not incentives in their contracts. Obviously, there are, but the bulk of it is
Well,
guaranteed.
if you make the all NBA team,
Yeah, it's an
if
additional.
you get $41 million the next year.
Yeah,
That's
God,
that's your base
that's
salary.
crazy.
But that's how they did the CBA.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that's the collective bargaining agreement over there is ridiculous. So it's and God bless these guys. Like listen, I don't ever get jealous about somebody else making a dollar.
Yeah,
God
get your
bless
bag.
them. They listen.
Yeah.
If I was 7 foot tall, if I could get myself on the stretcher and stretch out that much and get on a basketball court for a few minutes, I would love to make it. I'll make the league
Yeah.
minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hell, I'd love to make the league minimum too.
I
Just,
mean, I
think about
never
that.
hate
If
on
you're that
anybody
far
that's
down the bench, right? Because you're the guy that's at the end of the bench. You're like that. What's that one dude that does the commercials? It was the
Giannis's
Mavericks,
brother.
the
Giannis's
Mavericks guy with
brother.
the big ears, and he doesn't even play. But I guarantee he's making millions and millions, and he just sits there on the bench, just like the other guy next to him.
Because he's 7'4", 7'5", and he doesn't know he can't
He
play a
doesn't
lick of
play anything.
basketball.
But
Can't
he's
play a
tall.
lick, but he's really tall.
And
But
let
he's
me
tall.
ask you this: he's at the end of the bench, and he's probably sitting next to the other guy next to him that's making the spectator. And he
Giannis's
says,
brother. Giannis Akapukuku, but
Yeah.
I can't say his last name. I kill it every time. Yeah, I used to call him Giannis to piss him off.
Yeah,
But
that's
No,
awesome.
but these guys are making like hand over.
but his
fist, and they
brother
just
is
sit
on the
there.
team. His brother is on the team. I think
Yeah.
he's going to average a half a minute,
Yeah,
Sure.
maybe even
but
less,
he's making
like a third of a
incredible
minute
amount of
for
money.
the season.
Yeah,
And he's making a couple $1 million. But that's part of it now. That was part of the contract with Giannis. Hey, I want a room. I want my brother to sit next to me. I want him to travel with me. He gets to make some money, and ultimately he gets the ring if I get a ring. And God bless him. You know what I mean? Hey, listen. Again, God bless Giannis for being that talented that he can have his brother go with him everywhere he goes.
I mean, that's pretty cool in its own right.
Right.
Like,
I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I mean, you got the
cool
best
brother
seat
to
in the
do that.
house. You got money in your pocket, a house, cars. I mean, what? I mean, seriously, talk about living the life. That's the American dream, literally.
Yep.
Literally.
So, hey, listen, I still have not heard whether Kelsey's going to retire or not. In fact, I am leaning towards he's coming back one more season. Yeah, so I think that, I don't think we're going to get rid of him. And if we do, even if he does decide not to play, he's going to still be an Eagle. He'll still be a part of this whole, thing going on
I
here.
don't think Kelsey's going to go with. I think he's going to be back with you guys. Don't you? I mean, isn't that kind of the feeling that you guys got? I don't think he retires this year.
I don't know.
I have that feeling.
I don't
You
know.
do,
The
you
amount of partying he's been doing, tough to say.
Yeah.
You know what?
maybe he said, "Fuck it."
I think that some of that is theater.
Oh, it definitely could be. It definitely could be. But whether he does or he doesn't, I think you're right. I think he'll still be around the organization for sure.
Oh, he said he doesn't want to leave football. He doesn't want to leave it. He
I
wants
can
to
see
be a
him being
part of it.
pushing on
Be
being a
around.
positions coach and maybe being like an offensive line coach or something.
Yeah, I could see.
I don't know that that's the case. I don't think I can't see him coaching. And maybe that's a different scenario, but you can't coach and do the podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, at least that would be way different than I think it would be.
True.
So I don't believe that you can do both.
So you want him to be part of the marketing team instead?
Well, to be honest, the truth, I feel that he raises like millions of dollars for the Eagles Autism Foundation. You make him the president of the Eagles Autism Foundation, and that's what he does for a living. Then, you know what I mean? He raises money, he sets up events, he does all of those things. He's in the public eye and is able to do all the things you want him to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? Like that's how I would look at it as. But I feel that he has, to a certain extent, become America's dad.
Okay.
He's become what you think of right now. It used to be the curlers. Remember that team, the American curlers, that they were like, they look like the four dads that had too much beer, and went out and won gold.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is awesome. Again, God bless them for being able to be good at something. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, I always like watching the alternative sports as well. If you guys get a chance, I don't know if you guys are dart fans whatsoever,
Yeah.
Or what
but
kind of fan?
dart,
Darts.
throwing darts,
Oh,
English
darts. Yeah.
darts. There
Well,
is
I
a
like to watch it. I like
16-year-old
to watch
kid
it when I do play it.
there's a 16-year-old kid who, like, if you just say 16-year-old dart English darts, and the English darts championship match, there's going to be one match that comes up that this guy, it was like 180, 100, like they went back and forth throwing triple 20, triple 20, triple 20s nonstop. It is amazing to watch this 40 something year old guy versus this 16-year-old kid. And like those types, when you have that type of, again, that you can
Right.
do all that stuff as perfect as you can and such, that's kind of cool to watch. It really is a lot of
There's like
fun.
technique in throwing darts, though, to get the aim and all that. I mean, you gotta have. It's a lot of technique, and I mean, it would.
It's really
I'm
impressive.
okay. Like I can kind of, but man,
It's impressive watching them group in the triple 20s.
yeah.
But what's really crazy is when you see them Robin Hood their first dart with the second dart, they stab the flight.
Yep.
You're just like, man, like you couldn't be more dialed onto a spot than that.
Oh yeah, like 2018 and 15. I can usually hit those pretty well. But you just need to go for like another one, or like the one next to 20, left or right of it, and no, I'll hit the
So
one.
I'm gonna.
I know you close out the one all the time.
Do that.
Well, and that's, it's funny because I play American darts now, but I grew up playing English darts.
But I don't
It's
understand
like,
what is the difference between American darts and English darts.
so American darts are the wood darts.
Okay,
They're the wooden ones, and you're playing baseball. So that's where it's white
okay.
with a red stripe, and then another white stripe, and then the blue stripe. The blue stripe doesn't count. The white stripe around the edge is worth 3. The red stripe's worth 2. Inside's worth 1. And you
Okay.
play baseball, it's 1 through 9.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So English darts, you're playing more cricket, which is 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15 bull.
Oh, then that's
Or
what I've been playing. I've been playing English darts the whole damn time. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, me
you're
too.
playing 301 or 501,
Yeah.
701,
I
901.
didn't even know that was a thing. I went to my friend's house. I used to go to my friend's house. He had a dart, and we would just throw darts, and he would tell me like, "This is how we're going to score it." And the whole time we're playing English darts, and I didn't even realize that. Ain't
Yeah,
that
the
something
triples
else?
on the inside and the doubles on the outside.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So,
Damn.
and that's
Playing
like
English
I
the
said,
whole time.
so when you play English darts, you're usually playing cricket or double in, double out, where you gotta, you double in, then you start scoring points, and then you go double out again. That's kind of how that goes. But if you watch this one kid, it's like at 16 years old, like you think about Tiger Woods when he
Right.
was that young and how great he was.
Yep.
This is the
Right.
Tiger Woods of darts. And I
Oh,
don't know the
wow.
kid's name. I could probably look it up really fast. But it absolutely amazing to watch some of these alternate sports. As I'm talking about alternate sports, I'm wearing the Philadelphia Phoenix, which is ultimate frisbee. And we have a professional ultimate frisbee team
Oh
in
no, that's a
Philadelphia.
lot of fun. That ultimate frisbee. Oh, I love that.
So
Yeah, yeah,
it's like frisbee football almost.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm giving that they set up their season this year is much closer to me, so I'm very
Right.
happy about that.
And there's a lot of cardio in that, by the way.
Oh
Lot
yeah,
of
you got a lot of
cardio.
running,
Yeah.
of running.
Yeah.
Because that's what we used to do in the military, like for Army, when we do our PT sessions on Fridays, we would end the PT session on Fridays with ultimate frisbee. And that thing was talking about cardio builder. Jesus. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
You never played combat football?
No, there's a lot of injuries that are associated with that. And
where you're playing offense and defense at the same time. That's kind of
Oh.
cool. You get 2 footballs going at the same time, and you gotta.
Man, those medical clinics would be full of soldiers getting hurt. I guarantee. That's just a natural way for profiles to happen. I promise. But hey, real quick, did you guys? And I don't know if you guys talked about the other on Friday or Thursday, or whatever. But obviously, I just found out that LeBron almost got traded, or not almost got traded, but he was in a trade scenario with the Golden State Warriors. I guess all.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if y'all talked about that or not.
We did briefly. Because I said that was brought up by Draymond Green, and you know what? That would have been interesting. That's the one thing I haven't seen any video on the Draymond Green and Charles Barkley calling the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen any video on that yet, so I wonder if they really had any good takes. I'm sure they did. I'm sure there's a couple of good takes out there somewhere, but literally. But when it's 200 to 190, 210 to 190, that's not a good game. That just stinks out loud.
No, that's horrendous. I mean, that's not even somebody running down the court. Like, you're not even getting in someone's way to put up that many points.
Well, and like, hey, go ahead and go buy me. No big deal.
No, that's exactly what it would be. Like, that had to be either just obviously they threw up 168 3-pointers. So, I mean, they were jacking threes from everywhere. But then outside of that, like, it was probably just a free route to the basket. Ain't nobody trying to do anything.
Well, interestingly enough, the most amount of rebounds that were gotten during this game, I think, were 9 by one guy who played 18 minutes. And of course, he only scored 6 points. All he did was score 6 points, but he just stood under the basket and waited for everybody to miss. You know what I mean? And just got the Lillard.
That's your backyard basketball game where there's a guy that's just a liability on defense, but he's tall. You're just like, stand under the basket. Hopefully you get some rebounds.
Damian Lillard wound up getting the MVP as he went 14 for 26 from the field. It doesn't really show 11 from 23 from 3-point range.
Jeez.
Yeah,
he's almost
Halliburton actually had a better game. Halliburton had a much better game, going 10 for 14 from 3.
Yeah.
That being said, on the West side, you had Karl Anthony Towns at 27 minutes scored 50 points, and he went, and he only had 4 3-pointers. He went 4 for 13 from 3. So he was driving the ball, driving the basket, and nobody was getting in the way, I guess.
So he was basically doing what Bo said, just hang out under the basket, catch and shoot.
Well, I mean, if everybody's beyond the arc, why not? You're the only one in position.
Yeah, so he had 8 rebounds, 5 were defensive, 3 were offensive rebounds. So he wasn't getting offensive rebounds, he was getting defensive rebounds in general. But
which makes sense because nobody's crashing to the board because nobody cares.
But just to give you an idea, there was not one quarter that the East scored under 51 points. 53, 51, 56, 51.
Wow.
On the opposite side, the West only scored 50 points in one quarter. 47, 42, 47, and 50.
It almost makes you think, what's the point of why watch a game when there's no defense and there's just a bunch of shooting?
If I remember reading right, there was like 6 different guys that it was like 5 or 6 that had 30 plus points each.
Well, and here's the other thing. Here's the other thing about this. 5 free throws in the game.
Yeah, no one's playing defense.
Let's say they're all jacking up threes and nobody's challenging. Well, nobody's challenging it, right? So why would there be a foul if nobody's playing defense? You only get fouls if they're playing defense.
I mean, that's why you have a 200-point game. No one's playing defense. You're throwing up threes all over the place. And when you're not, it's an open lane to the basket.
So maybe the only free throws that were there were the guys that couldn't get out of the shooter's way quick enough.
Here you go. Here's a great stat. The West had 100 points in the paint.
God.
The East only had 74.
Well, that just tells you the East was all 3-pointers.
The biggest lead for the East was 27 points. There were 3 personal fouls in the game.
Yeah, and those were the guys that couldn't get out of the way fast enough.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably stumbled and tripped into a person. We're like, oh,
Oh man, I didn't mean to do that.
yep.
And interestingly enough, when you're having games like this, there was 116 assists total. 60 by the
Yeah, that
West,
sounds about
46 by
right.
the
Those
East.
were the guys that were chucking it to the guy down low.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's just ridiculous to me. Like, how is there even assist? Because you're throwing the ball and he's putting it up. Is that an assist if you get that? If he puts it right up, or
Yeah,
is it?
unless there's a lot of alley oops or lob city stuff.
That's what I would figure. That there's plenty of that. That there's
Yeah.
a lot more of the alley oops
Yeah,
because that's what they want to show.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, not what I like. And then the Brooklyn Nets fired their coach.
yeah.
Okay.
That sounds about right. It sounds about
They are
right.
21 and 33, so it's not
Yeah.
like he's doing very well or
It's not like
anything
he
like
had a
that.
winning record to bring in another coach that's sucking.
And wasn't this only his first year there, right? Like he literally just got hired, right? Or was it his second year?
It might be his second year.
Like
Let
he
me check.
hasn't been there long.
And in the middle of his second season at the helm.
Yeah. Okay. So it's got a year and a half, or a year and about a year and a half on the team. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense to fire
They
him.
got rid of everybody. There's nobody on his team that's any good other than Ben Simmons, and I'm not even talking about him being any good. So, I
He's
mean,
just
it's kind
All
of
you need to do at that point is just hire a psychologist to be the coach for Ben Simmons. That's it. Just make your head coach a psychologist, and you can get Ben out there. Now, Ben, he didn't take it personal. You don't even have to even try to shoot the ball. Just give to the guy, pass it, Ben. We're good. I can just see something like that coming to fruition. It's like, what the hell? But maybe they want to bring in a Budenholzer. I don't even know if Budenholzer would want to go there, but I mean, certainly he would be a reputable coach to have as your team and rebuild around it. You have to obviously say, look, I'm coming here, but it's clearly a rebuild team. So I don't think we're just going to go out there and hammer it home,
let's go. I'm looking at if there's any news coming out of anywhere else other than, hey, that basketball. They are retiring Jaromir Jagr's number in Pittsburgh. The 52-year-old still playing hockey over in
the
Czech
hell?
Republic.
Wow. That's impressive.
He's still playing hockey, and the reason why he doesn't play in the NHL anymore, although he probably could, he took a couple of bad hits. Like, you don't want some of these young kids running on you, and that's kind of what it is.
What's his
But
position?
say
Is he
again?
like a defenseman?
No, he's a centerman. He's like a center or a wing. Like he used to be a center. I'm sure he's probably a wing now.
Right.
I mean, he might still be playing center. I don't know. I don't follow his career out in the Czech Republic. I don't get to see much hockey out there. But he did play into his 40s here and is likely going to be, like, when you hear about the Gordie Howe hat trick and Gordie Howe playing into his 60s and such like that, he was able to play in like four separate decades. And that's kind of what Jaromir is going to be able to go. He's probably going to be able to play till he's about 58, 59, in a professional manner, just because he's still that good and still that fast.
Nice.
Like, when he played here, he was like 38 years old. So we're talking 14 years ago at this point, and he still was great. And then he played for a couple other teams after us and still was great. You know what I mean? It's just, then he went back home to play in the Czech Republic, and I know that he got one really bad injury. Somebody trying to make a name for himself tried to, run him, and he wound up boarding him, wound up getting a concussion and such. But I think out of all the, him getting his number retired is actually worth it. I think that's absolutely something that should have happened.
Let me ask you this. What do you think about, and I'm going to a different sport, but what do you think about Mike Trout saying that he wants to stay with the Angels and continue to play with the Angels? I'm really surprised he's doing that. I kind of figured that he'd be one of those kind of guys that says, you know what, I'm getting kind of long in the tooth here. Maybe I want to go to a team that can actually compete for a World Series so I can say that I got a World Series ring before I called it a day. I mean, do you find it interesting that he's said he wants to stay with the Angels?
It just means he doesn't care about it. Means he was
Yeah.
about the money, and he was upfront about it. So, I'm not mad at it. Some people don't care. I can't relate to it, but some people don't care.
Yeah.
That being said, today's the official day that all of the teams start showing up for spring training. So, pitchers and catchers showed up a few days ago, and of course, the rest of the teams report today and tomorrow. So, baseball is officially back.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous about that because Verlander, usually he does his conditioning and things like that, and I guess he had an issue with his shoulder. He said it's been resolved, but it's going to throw him at least 2 to 3 weeks before he can, I guess, start spring training or I guess start the regular season. And they already are without Luis Garcia, so it almost looks like a microcosm of last year in terms of Houston having some issues with the starting rotation. So that kind of makes me a little nervous.
I mean, it's the start of spring training. He's probably going to be fine by the time he's old enough that you probably don't want him playing too much in spring training anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I would only want him to do maybe about a week or two worth of games just to get himself, acclimated throwing the ball and get some of that rust off before the regular season starts.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah, you're not having him like a real rotation in spring training. You're going to have him out there for a few innings in half a dozen games. And that's about it.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. And they do have JP France, and they do have that other young kid. I can't remember his name right now, but they do have a couple of young guys that pitch fairly well, so we'll see how that they should hopefully be able to fill in. I think we got enough to do at least a good solid 4 rotation. And then Verlander would come in and probably make it 5. So I think we'll be okay.
I hope they suck. I'm not gonna lie.
I know you do, Bo. Hey, in all honesty, though, I can honestly see, something similar to what happened last year. Except I don't know that we could get the division. I think we'd honestly take the wild card because the Rangers didn't lose anybody. They still have that competitive edge. From everything I've seen, they all want that. They all want to do a repeat. So I kind of see a similar situation of last year, where it's Astros and Rangers duking it out for the divisional lead. And quite honestly, Bo, I hope we get the wild card because I don't want to play at home. Our record at home is horrible. Matter of fact, to the point, Bo, I kid you not. I will say this with all conviction. If the Astros had been the wild card team and the Rangers had been the home team, the Astros would have had a really good chance at actually winning and going to the World Series because, as you know, no team won at home in that stretch. It was all road wins. And we were playing.
It was a lot of road wins, yeah.
Yeah, it was all road wins. It is what it is. So now this year, I'm almost hoping that we get the All-Star, so we just play road games, and I'm okay with that. Hell, they're okay with it. It's crazy to say that, but
yeah, I hope the M's can sneak in. I don't see it happening, but it would be cool. But what they got rid of and what they've brought in doesn't make me feel like we got better. so there's.
I always thought you should put just an M on top of your hat instead of an S over there, and so M would stand for minor league talent. But
no, it's an S still at the bottom.
It's still at the bottom. No, actually,
cool.
That is still reserved for the A's.
I was going to say we never have to worry about being the bottom because the A's exist. Yep.
Oh, that is terrible.
I did like how the Vegas mayor said, "Hey, A's, stay in Oakland. We don't want you."
That was pretty amazing.
I love that. So you know what? And you're talking about Vegas and the A's and stuff like that and teams. The NBA is considering Pittsburgh as a spot.
Oh,
so if they're going to put a team in Vegas,
if they shaft Seattle again, that's rough.
So so here's the problem: that if they were to put a team in Vegas and Seattle, the West has already got 2 extra teams, I believe. Correct?
2 extra teams?
Yeah.
I guess I'm not sure exactly what the balance is.
Yeah, I think that they do. I think that there is 2 extra teams. I'm going to confirm that right now,
I mean,
so
if
that
that's
I
the case,
can.
there's be a realignment of some sort.
So there's
Yeah, there
15.
almost have to be a
Nope.
realignment.
There's only 15. There's 15 on each.
Okay,
So
that's what
I
I
thought
thought.
I thought that there was extra on the west side. So putting 2 into the west would change the alignment. So you'd have to move one of the teams over. And which team do you move? Maybe New Orleans, I guess.
I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah.
That's the only one that I could think of, or Memphis.
Either one of those would work.
I'm almost thinking
Memphis,
thinking Memphis before New Orleans. I'm
Exactly.
thinking Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis would probably make the most sense.
Well,
I think so
mean,
too.
if you're using the river, Mississippi River, as the dividing line,
Sure.
both of them fit.
Yeah, no,
Right?
of course. Yeah.
So I mean, maybe it'd be Memphis, but
because
Pittsburgh is on.
Right, because if you brought in Seattle and you brought in Vegas, those two would replace Memphis and New Orleans, and just slide Memphis and New Orleans over to the east, and then you're golden.
Well, no, you only need one team to move.
Is it just one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, so if
you'd be
moving-
losing one and gaining one. Because it would be 17 and 15. So you move one team over, it makes it 16 and 16.
Okay.
But do you
Okay.
think that they could go 4 teams? Do you think that they would include 4 teams? Go Seattle, Vegas, Pittsburgh, and then what would be the other team? Like, I don't even know what other city could possibly even handle a basketball. Tampa?
Yeah, I mean,
that's the only other city I could think of that has 3 teams that maybe be able to support a 4th team.
yeah. No, I could see that. I guess.
But that's now having 4 teams jump into the league.
Unless
now
you put one in Nashville. What about Nashville?
Well, isn't that Memphis?
I mean, Memphis would be close enough for that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like the market's big enough to have multiple basketball teams in town.
In Tennessee?
Yeah.
Well, but Tennessee. Well, see, like, there again, I think North Carolina. Like, if you were to put like one in Duke, I guess that would take away from the college, and nobody's going to take away from the college there. So, like somewhere close to that, like in Raleigh, Durham, you can't have that because you don't have a team there. The Charlotte Hornets, I guess, is.
Well, what about going back to Canada? What about giving Vancouver back a team? Or would that be, or even just another one, either Ottawa, Alberta, Edmonton?
Probably have to do Montreal. Again, it would have to be on the east side.
Yeah.
You would want that on the east side. You wouldn't have Vancouver and Seattle.
Right. Okay, so Montreal. Yeah, so what about Montreal then? That would be good.
No, you could do that.
I think Canada would definitely like to have another basketball team.
Or Quebec.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Call them the Nordiques.
Oh, man. And with that, we're at the top of the hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Hey, it's perfect timing on that one. Jeez.
All right. So, since we are at the top of the hour, we might as well go ahead and do our thing there. And afterwards, we'll talk about, who won the Daytona 500, because I know I didn't watch.
Well, it happens today because Florida ended up with 2 to 3 inches of rain during race time yesterday. So it airs at 4:00 today Eastern.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. No, it's one of the things I laughed about because I was like, we hyped up talking about NASCAR. Immediately it got postponed. I was laughing the whole time. I was just like, this makes total sense.
Yeah.
Just because right up our alley. That's So listen, everybody, we will be back for the second hour of Coast to Coast, where we will talk about how nothing happened in NASCAR this weekend. So we'll be back right after these messages. You can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, get us any.
Trisha's having a sleepover tonight. Can I go?
I wonder about Lucy's friends. What should I say? I know you're only 10, but one of these days a friend will offer you a drink. And alcohol at your age can lead to so many things. None of them good.
So can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me
I
something.
finished my homework.
Bigger promise. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you. Your real friends won't care. Deal?
Sure.
Really?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov, a public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Supporting the needs of our veterans. That's the goal of all of us at Team AmVets. Like Mitch, Carlos, and Kevin from our Welcome Home team that brings furniture to our vets.
We are Team AmVets.
Or Linda from our thrift stores who brings you great bargains every day.
I am Team AmVets.
And John, who picks up your thrift store donations that support California veterans programs.
I am Team AmVets.
Visit our website or a Team AmVets thrift store to donate or shop today.
Join the team!
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
And welcome back to the second hour of Coast to Coast. And, we were just talking a little bit about, different sports and how we got hyped all this stuff up about NASCAR. And of course, it didn't happen, which is perfect. And, it's like, hey, he offered me to take me on a ride over at Dover International Speedway. And of course, that's the weekend of the draft, which really is frustrating. But there's another sport that had something happen, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And I want to talk about it a little bit because, of course, not this past year, but the year before, I was there when it occurred. They have the Phoenix Open, or the Waste Management Open in golf, happens right the same time as the Super Bowl every year. And this year, it got way out of hand and way out of control. So much so that the players went nuts, saying that it's no longer even worth it to go to this thing anymore. That it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be crazy. It is little nuts. It's a way of the fans. It's the way of being Happy Gilmore-esque to golf. Okay. Because afterwards, it's all very, very straight-laced, and that's kind of what's happening here. But it was a lot different. They're exploring. This was they call it the greatest show on grass. Not anymore. Maybe a bit tamer next year, as they said. And this was the report. We are aware that changes need to be made, and we will spend the upcoming months identifying those areas where change is necessary, the Thunderbird said in a statement Thursday night. Not just for Friday and Saturday, but for the entire week. The Phoenix Open has been the wildest stop on the PGA Tour for years. More than 700,000 fans fill TPC Scottsdale during the tournament. Typically 200,000 or more on Saturday, with the majority jammed around the holes near this clubhouse and the stadium's 16th hole. The tour players expect the noise and chaos at the tournament, even embracing the constant din and shouts on number 16. So they're always yelling in the backswing and stuff like that. It's part of what occurs at this. But this year was a mess. They had rainfall, so everything was all muddied up. There were people, they stopped serving alcohol on Sunday, and it still had wasted people. People were wasted drunk uh, during these tournaments and such. So it's really been bad. Some of the golfers were like, even the guy who won was like, no. It's way out of hand now.
A little
It's
too
like
much.
it is. It's was fun, and now the riffraff has joined in. It's like it's because like when they score that last one, there's like they all do. It's like it's everybody. It's like raining beer
Oh,
onto the course.
damn.
Go look at it. The final shot at the PGA at Scottsdale, TPC
Yeah.
Scottsdale for the Phoenix Open. You look at that, and it's an absolute shit show. It's an absolute shit show.
Is that the one
And
where the players were talking to the fans, telling them to be quiet? And
yes, that
yeah.
was it.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Well,
and
is
and
this
it
the future of golf rowdiness? Is it no more country club affair?
no, it's just for this one.
Yeah.
Because they don't allow this. Like you even sneeze at the wrong time at the Masters, and
You're
you're
out.
escorted out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like
It's
you
to the
gotta
parking lot.
be. Yeah, it's very very ridiculous. Everywhere else, like it's almost when they had the PGA Championship here at Marion, which is
Yeah.
one of the oldest golf courses in this country. In fact, they use wickers rather than flags. They don't use flags. They use wicker
Oh.
baskets. It's one of two locations that uses it. The other one is in England or no, Scotland. It's the one spot in Scotland. These are sister courses. Um, but like you talk at like if me I can't whisper, I can't go.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
I'm too loud all the time.
I
Just
clearly can't go, so maybe Bo's the only one that can go.
Except it's golf, and I don't want to go.
This
Like
is-
I'm down to go
Okay,
play.
This is Bo Crouch.
Yeah.
I'm coming in for the third.
No, I'm down to go play golf terribly, but I definitely can't go watch golf. And look at us taking over prime time.
Yeah, we are prime time in Belgium, and we are a big commodity there. We are waiting to get some of the advertisements for the Belgian beer. All they got to do is just send it our way. Send the beer. We will start advertising for them. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you very
100%.
much.
Bring
Hey,
the beer.
listen, we are waiting with bated breath. Literally.
Exactly.
You
As
only have
much
to send it to
Chimay as
two
you
of us.
could send me, I'll drink.
You only have to send it to two of us, so you know.
Chimay Blue.
Oh man!
That's
And when he says that we're hot, he really means me.
But so yeah, that's one of the crazy things that happen in sports. Which made me start to think, what are some of the other crazy things that occur during sporting events? Like
Well-
obviously for golf, this is one of these things. I know that they used to throw a rat onto the ice in Florida.
Really?
And then there was also the octopus in Detroit, for hockey. So hockey has a few of those things. I know in certain colleges they have the silent night where it's
Okay.
you could hear a pin drop for the first 10 points. And once the team scores 10 points, all hell breaks loose. They got to stop the game for a few minutes and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of cool college things that occur. What did I watch on ESPN? Where this one team, they broke like a 48 game losing streak, and the fan rushed the court because there was one fan in the stadium, and he rushed the court. He was like, "Yeah, we won."
That's amazing.
I appreciate that. Thank you. When I get to talk about
you
when I get
paid
to talk
Linda
about
to
the
say
rat.
that. That's
Yeah,
not true. He paid Linda to say that. They got to. It's like, look, if Marshawn Lynch has Skittles in his contract, Pags has Linda saying positive things in his. Okay, look, don't let that go to your head.
Basketball in Greece. You know what? I will have to check that out. But can you guys think of
Huh.
anything that occurs like any local traditions that they have that will happen during a sporting event? Like I feel like a Kraken that they could be the ones throwing the octopus on the ice
I
now.
could see that. I could definitely see that.
Yeah,
And I
I
don't
mean,
know of any Dallas traditions or
I
even any.
haven't heard of anything like that. I haven't heard of anything like that yet. It's still such a young team. I think they're still
Yeah, you
trying to
guys are
figure out
young.
what it is they're going to do, right? Because I'm sure something will happen, but only being a couple years old, you know,
Yeah, and like most of the time, it's like things are wrapped around like songs. Like for instance, the Phillies for the last 2 years, when like that 2 years ago when they were going on that run, that's how that song came about. The dancing on my own. Which I hated that song. I couldn't stand it. I'm so glad they finally got rid of that song. They brought it back for last year's run. Now it's failed in 2 years in a row. Time to get a new song. Time to get a new song. Like
You know,
oh my lord.
I know, Francis says that American fans are polite, but like if you ever watch baseball games in Japan, they're extremely polite. Like they don't even yell; they just got these little clapper things, and they just clap, and then they're quiet, and then they clap, and then they're quiet.
yeah.
And
I mean,
it was weird going to a baseball
So
game.
soccer or
I was
football
going to say,
has a different world. It's a different
yeah,
world over there. It's similar to football here. Like American
yeah,
football here and soccer over in Europe are both kind of the same. You know what I mean? And they make up
Right.
songs. Like when you go to a soccer game here, um, they they make up songs here. Like even at the Philadelphia Union, the fans on the one side that you the thing is that you're not allowed to sit down, you're not allowed to wear anything other than blue. You can't wear your opposing colors and sit in that section whatsoever. You don't sit down, you don't shut up the entire game. They're singing different lyrics to Yankee Doodle. They go when somebody's down on the ground, they like shoot them like a horse. Shoot them like a horse. You know what I mean? It's like
Is that
there's
this is the
always
Eagles?
different
Is that Eagles
traditions.
games?
Huh?
You said this is at Eagles games that they're
No,
doing that?
soccer,
no,
soccer,
Oh,
Philadelphia
soccer,
Union.
soccer. Okay. That's interesting. Shoot him like a horse. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
There is some differences.
Shoot
The
him like a
problem
horse.
is that they don't allow like where it gets a little out of hand over there, so much so that they have the fan bases separated.
yeah,
They don't do that here. They
yeah.
can't do that here. So because of that, it's a whole like they're intermixed. So instead, you have fights.
I'm about to say, do you know how many fights they have in them? You think they're polite? They're over there kicking each other's ass. It's true though.
I,
Hey, listen, I had a bunch of Yankee fans that were right behind us at an Astros game, and I can't tell you how much shit we were giving them, and they were giving us to a point where I thought we were going to get into a fight. Because Yankee fans, they're just a
It
bunch
happens.
of rookies. But still,
So, Yankee fans going to Yankee Stadium. First off, the old Yankee Stadium is much better than the new one, and most Yankee fans will even tell
I've
you
been to a
that.
new one.
But
Okay.
like Yankee fans are first off, they don't know how to banter.
They
So the
don't.
problem is that they're just assholes,
They
and that's
really
part of the
are.
problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm
they
doing my
are.
video. I'm doing
Yeah.
doing my video at Yankee Stadium, and the stadium that they made me take my face paint off.
Oh,
They made me take my face paint off.
weird.
And I literally was doing a video, and you had this girl who was every bit of maybe like 21, barely, and she is yelling behind me, F the Phillies, F the Phillies, F the Phillies, and giving a middle finger as I'm doing my video for all these kids. And it's hysterical to me because obviously it's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that, they do that there. But unfortunately, Pags, like as Americans, we do crazy stuff sometimes, even though we're not supposed to.
Right. Like, well, and I understand this that there is a whole bunch of different. There's police, like I said, they separate.
Yep.
You can't, you know, when I got to imagine when there's Manchester United versus Manchester City, that game is got to be policed. That there is a
Right.
monster police presence there so that they don't intermix,
Mm.
that they don't intertwine. Now, I got to imagine that if that is some of the biggest sense, when you get into Germany and such like that, that it's not necessarily scaled down, it's just lighter because it's there that things get nuts. When in Mexico, if you are an opposing fan near like they when we went there to go to Mexico when we were in the CONCACAF and the Union was playing the game in Mexico, they had us. They escorted us in through police guard. They escorted us out in police guard. And anytime the other team scored a goal, everybody's beer came into ours. Came into our section. Not that I was there, so I can't say that I. But everybody's beer in Mexico, they could spend $30 on a beer just to throw it at somebody else when they score a goal. It's just the way
Mm.
that they celebrate out there. And celebrating like that in soccer and in football is unique. Like they don't do that anywhere else except in Europe.
Huh.
Brazil, a lot different. You're in Colombia and you are the goalie that lets up a goal or you kick an own goal, you wind up getting shot. Like you're dead. Like you better leave the country because you're dead. They will
But
kill
isn't
you.
that like how some of the Middle Eastern states are when it comes to soccer? I mean, they
Oh,
take
yeah.
it pretty serious too. The Iraqis and Iranians. I mean, they take that stuff seriously too. Like your whole family can get killed if you don't do well or this, that, or the other. I mean,
So
it's
I remember
rough.
that when the Canucks lost the Stanley Cup. I mean, I got to imagine that you probably
Yeah.
remember that, Bo.
Yep.
That there was the riots that occurred and stuff like that. It was a big deal up there, obviously. I mean, everybody talks about, hey, oh, that the Eagles, the Philadelphia's burnt their city down to the ground when the Eagles won. Actually, nothing like that occurred whatsoever. That was all
Yeah.
made up. It was all made up. There was no arrests at all. So it's just we were out there. There were 2 million people out celebrating, which is great. You know what I mean? It's just actually the tragedy that happened last week was something that was even much more involved than anywhere else. It's like and there's now video of like how that all even came about. You know, like can't people just learn how to fight the old-fashioned way? You know, yeah, it's just like, hey, listen, we ain't. We all gotta get up the next day. We all gotta,
Yeah.
go to
Well,
work the next day.
I
I
said we
mean,
go. I said
it
we go ancient, old school. Let's just break out swords. Come on, let's go.
swords. No,
Swords
I
and
mean,
shields, baby. Swords and shields. Let's
especially
go.
soccer fans are so wildly different. Like I remember the 94 World Cup. This guy passed back to his own goalie. His goalie missed it, scored on his own goal, and ultimately got murdered afterwards.
Yes, that's Columbia.
Yeah,
That was
like
Columbia.
right. And you're just
So
like, we've seen guys fumble in the end zone and lose the game, and we're not trying to shoot him here. Like that's just
I mean, they've gotten death threats. I mean, let's
no,
be
of
for
course,
real.
of
I
course.
mean, there's always somebody who's like, "Oh, we're gonna kill you and your family" and stuff like that. Like I remember when in '93, when Mitch Williams, you know, lost that one game, it was like the death threats that he got that he was scared for his family. You know what I mean? It's like, are you kidding me? Like, just like the guy who wind up, the guy who wind up hitting Hamlin,
Oh yeah,
and like he wound up getting death threats, and that was accident.
exactly,
There's always going to be idiots.
for sure.
Always going to be idiots. And let me tell you, those idiots ain't doing a damn thing.
Yeah,
They're too busy bapping. Oh, I'm going to be an internet bully and try to scare somebody into doing whatever. You ain't doing a thing. You ain't doing a
yeah,
damn thing. You know what I
exactly.
mean? Just like everybody who likes to go, all the stuff, I get tons of hate, tons and tons of hate. It amazes me some of the hate that I get from my own fan base.
Sure.
Like, are you kidding me? I'm a guy who paints his face and roots for his team. If you
Yep.
have a problem with that, stop watching me.
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
But nope, I've got guys that literally follow me to troll me
Sure.
because they got nothing better. I
No,
got this one guy. I got this one guy on Instagram. He literally follows me to call, to say something stupid. And then when I go try to tag him back, because he could still tag me in there or say something stupid to me, I can't tag him because he's got me restricted. I can't tag him.
sure.
Like, are you kidding me? That is such a pussy move.
It's
Such
why.
a pussy move.
Oh, for sure. No, it's why I always say your haters are always your best followers, right?
Yes.
They will tune in all the time, waiting for you to say something dumb or anything that gives them, you know, any kind of misstep. They're just more than happy to try and jump on it. And but at the same time, thanks for the watch.
Yeah, exactly. Like I had this 65-year-old real estate agent start
Yep.
talking trash. Yeah, he was trash talking me and like
Sure.
try like two things. He like mentioned something and then somebody else who I know who also likes to follow me and trash talk me all the time, who works for hers, who uses me as a spokesperson. You know what I mean? So it's like his company is using me as a spokesperson and he's still a hater. And he's like, so they start talking to each other. So he mentions a couple of different things. I join the chat and I'm like, hey, you obviously got a lot to say, but I'm easy to find. If you're going to these games, find me. Come tell
Yeah.
me to my face. Because truth of the matter is that if you talk to me in my face and you actually hear what it is that I got to say, you realize that I'm just a normal guy. And
Yeah.
like I've heard many people say, I don't like you, and then talk to me and be like, you know what? I can't help but not like you now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I don't like your antics. I don't like the things you do,
Sure.
but you're not you're not the guy I thought you were.
Yeah.
You know? So and that's when like usually I try to banter with intelligence. Like
Yeah.
I try to get somebody and be like, "Hey, then talk to me." This guy got his back up. He's like, "Oh, you're threatening me." You know what I mean? So it's like, "No, I'm not threatening you." He's like, "Oh, I will." I said, "Just make sure that you have I have your full attention on me.
Yeah.
Because listen, I don't need to be contentious. I don't need to fight for any reason whatsoever. These games don't mean that much to me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They don't pay me enough to care when we lose.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They don't.
Like you'd
But
rather them not lose, but you're not losing any sleep if they do.
have your full attention because
Yeah.
if you're going to come at me, I'm going to come back. You know what I
Sure.
mean? It's just I'm not going to allow any bully to bully me. I
Yeah.
talk about bullying all the time. And then they when you hear the word bully, when a 65-year-old man hears the word bully, they don't understand. How
Yeah.
is it I'm bullying you? Have you read anything that you spoke about? Do you know what you're even talking about here?
Yeah.
Like you are being a bully. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you bully me. I'm
Yep.
not going to let it occur. Because out of the thousands upon thousands of people that love me, you're going to side with the 12 that actually the unsilent loudmouths
Yeah.
that like to
Exactly.
think that they because that's what it is. They're just the ones, they're the keyboard warriors of the internet. They ain't
Yep.
got nothing else to say but be miserable because their lives are friggin' miserable. You know
Yep.
what I
The
mean?
loud minority.
And you're going to side with them. Let me tell you, go ask all your grandkids. And I bet you they love me. And I bet you they took pictures with me. And I bet you after you see all of that and how much they care and how much they like me, you might change your tune. But instead, you want to be a big mouth bully. Your small minded pig headedness is going to make you think a certain way.
Yep.
You ain't got to like me, but you could just scroll on past. You ain't got to talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? Like it haters are generally just seeking out something to be mad about because it's pretty easy when you're scrolling to just I don't agree with that and just keep scrolling. But that's not what they do. They need to engage in a way that, you know, most of the time doesn't make sense anyway because they're not usually coming at you with logic, right? Usually they come off with one statement and then it's immediate name calling because they don't have any other facts to back up what they're talking about.
And some people, you know what though, but some people do that just for clicks. Like
No, 100%.
material. You
100%
know, that's why I'd name a few people that I know that go on Facebook that do nothing but do stuff for clickbait, and I'm just like,
I tell you,
yeah.
I would love to do the hater show.
Sure.
Like post it out there a week in advance. Like, hey,
oh yeah,
this is where you're going to log into. And then you're going to be able to come and say your piece. You're going to get 2 minutes to say your piece.
Pags, you would not be able to have all the people that hate you right now on your show, because half of Dallas would be on there saying, "This son of a bitch."
Actually, no, I'll be honest with you.
No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. People in Dallas probably don't hate you. Maybe they do.
Yeah. Actually, people in Dallas love me because you know what? Because I get it. I get the joke. Listen. I tell people all the time, when you paint your face for a living, you better get the joke. I am not a better fan than anybody else. I don't speak for anybody. I am just a fan. Most of the time, I have better makeup. That's the truth of it. I am doing my thing differently than anybody else. If you don't like it, that's fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
Sure.
Well, that's true, because you do cause the Eagles to lose sometimes, especially
all the time, as it would turn out.
God.
It's my fault.
He's a superpower, but apparently he has a superpower.
Hey, listen. The fact that that asteroid came and hit the Earth 20-some million years ago, that was my fault. That was the Philly sports guy back then.
It was your fault. We don't have pet dinosaurs. All right.
No. I think the asteroid produced Pags, and Pags has been around for 27 million years. I think he started as a caveman.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, the Toronto Raptors were different back then. But that's exactly it. It's just like the haters are going to hate, and I don't mind the haters. Like I said, it's if you're going to be intelligent about hating on me, that's fine. You know what I mean? But if you're going to be a bully, I'm going to call you out on being a bully, and I'm going to bully you back. And it's amazing. It amazes me because bullies can't stand being bullied back. They don't know how to deal with it. Yep. They don't know how to go about it. They're like, "Oh, well, you
really have to have
your ass." You know what I mean?
That's where it always goes down to like name calling and threats and stuff like that. Because soon
people, when it gets to that point, it's no more. It's not. Yeah, that's personal when it gets to that level.
Well,
when I'm in a game,
it always ends up that direction though, because they never have anything to follow it up with.
Right. And listen, and when I lose the banter, when I'm losing the banter back and forth, I lose. Yeah. It's okay. When I don't know what to say next because you got a good one on me, I'll tell you. Yeah, right, that was a good one. You know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah, that was a good one. I got nothing to say. You win. You know what I mean? And that's okay. I don't have to be undefeated. Well, I don't have to be undefeated.
Honestly, that's why people like you. But people like you when you take one and they're like, "Hey, that was pretty good. All right, you got it." I think you kind of grow people like that. They start liking you, and they're like, "Yeah,
because
it's guys can take it. So okay."
Hey, listen, there's a reason why some of the biggest, most viral videos that I have are when I congratulate the other team.
Sure.
Because I don't make the excuses. I don't need to do all of that. It's like, hey, listen, we lost. We were not the better team today. For whatever reason that was. And Houston, there were a number of videos that went viral when I was still in my face paint and walking around the celebration. Where everybody's putting the camera on me because they think that they're going to start to rile me up. And I'm saying, congratulations, be safe out here tonight. Things are going crazy. Let's make sure everybody gets home and gets to go to the parade.
Yeah.
When you have that type of interaction with somebody, all of a sudden people are like, whoa, like I was not expecting that. So there were a number of videos that went mega viral because here it is. It's the Phillies guy with all the face paints and not acting like what the media says a Philadelphia fan should act like.
Yeah.
So and that's part of this. So I would love to do the hater show where we'll do that. It may be in a couple of weeks or so, where it's like maybe actually I have the perfect day for it. I'm going to put it out. We're going to plan it ahead. It's going to be Leap Day,
I
February
won't be here.
29th.
I won't be here for it.
You can even do
Ah,
you can even do April 1st, which is April Fool's Day. Oh my God, that'd be great.
You could
What
do
a
that.
better hater show
Could do
than
that.
April Fool's Day?
April
God,
1st actually sounds like a better day. I actually like that. That gives us a month.
God.
And I will
Yeah.
go ahead and put that out like so that so I'll spread it out. We're going to do the hater show. If you're a hater of the Philly sports guy or of Jamie Pags or of Jay or of Bo, if you
Yep.
don't like us, it's the hater show. You're going to get your 2 minutes. You're going to be
Yeah.
able to talk for 2 minutes and state your case on why you hate the Philly sports guy or you hate Jay or you hate Bo or,
That sounds hilarious.
anything.
I'm
You
in.
know, I
Hater
like that.
show.
I like that
April
idea.
1st.
God, April Fool's Day. That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna
That
be
sounds. We did make sure that was a weekday. Yeah.
I didn't.
Let's just
Well, you
find
know what?
out.
I think it's a Monday. I think it's a Monday because the 31st is
It
a
is a
I'm
Sunday. I
pretty
Monday.
know
sure
that
it's
for a fact.
It is a
yeah,
Monday.
it's Monday. We're good.
Nice.
Oh
Perfect.
God, we start off the week with the hater show. What?
That actually makes a ton of sense.
Oh my
That's
God.
perfect. That is
Talk
absolutely
about setting the
perfect.
tone for the week. Oh my God.
And so I think that would be awesome. I like I said, we'll put commercials out for that. I think that would be a monster show. A monster show.
Absolutely.
Because if you hate us, you're coming to log on. If you love us, you're coming to watch.
No doubt. No doubt.
And if
You
you're
want to see what
undecided,
happens.
you'll
Like
be
all of the
decided.
stuff that's going to happen for that show is going to break records. That
That
show is going to break records
that'll be our best show probably. Yeah.
by far, by far.
Bo,
Yeah.
hey, he said if you're undecided, you'll be decided.
If you're undecided, it means you're probably both, right?
You're fluid. You're so fluid.
Yeah, there's moments where you're like, I hate these guys, and then there's moments where you're like, I mean, all right, I can get down with that. Yeah. A quarterly hater show.
Yeah, do it every quarter. Oh my.
Hey, it'd be like the mean tweets, right? So yeah, fair enough.
Oh,
I like that. I like that idea. Well, we could do that. Like I said, it's or hey, talk about coast to coast. If you got a video and you want to send us hate mail. I
Actually,
will bring it up.
you know what would be amazing about that? If it really was a quarterly show, that is literally the first day of the quarter.
That's perfect. There you go. So we do April 1st, then it would be what, July 1st? No, June 1st. April, May, no, June, July, August 1st,
Yeah,
actually.
uh,
August 1st.
yeah, yeah,
That's quarterly, so it's 3 months. We got to
yeah,
do math here better than this.
yeah.
April,
Well,
May, June,
yeah,
July 1st,
July 1st,
then August, September, October 1st,
October 1st. Yep.
and then January 1st.
Yep. Nice.
and y'all said we couldn't cat.
Look at that accidentally working out.
So there we go. We're going to start to advertise that.
Bo.
The hater show, and I'm going to invite some people. I'm going to send messages like BJC Anderson. I want you on that show. That's Avalon Brian. I want you on that show, Avalon Brian. I'm going to give you a few minutes to talk to me about it. You know what I mean? In fact, Avalon Brian, I would give you 5 minutes because you're the one that's really spawned this.
There you go.
And that's what I'm going to start to do from here on out. I'm actually going to start to push this now. Like we will have this code up here. Like, hey, listen, you got a problem? You don't like the Philly sports guy? Tell me about it on April 1st. April 1st, you're going to get your opportunity to talk. Maybe we'll do a 4-hour show.
All right.
It might need to be a long show.
Probably does.
So, like that'd be hysterical. where we would just be going at it, and like we may have to do this live somewhere. This would be perfect to everybody, to all three of us, to be at a Buffalo Wild Wings. Hint, hint.
Oh
Not,
man,
not.
that would be amazing.
I'm gonna ask for the Bo promo code when I go to Wild Wings. That's all I know.
Yes.
So,
yes, I'm here for a show. I'd like the Bo Crouch promo code, please.
That's right.
We are looking for Buffalo Wild Wings to sponsor the Hater Show. The Hater Show of
Oh
Coast to
man,
Coast.
that would
Brought
be
to
pretty
you
amazing.
by Buffalo Wild Wings and Belgian beer and Belgian beer.
Right. Belgian beer. Yep. Promo code football talk.
Oh.
I think that would be. Think about all the haters that would come face to face. Imagine doing that. Like I could get up another camera and set it up so that I could put it on them if they wanted to come talk and do it on a microphone.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it. Come see us live to hear about it. We want to hear your hate live. Do it. I'll paint my face and everything. I will do it. Let's go crazy.
Hell yeah.
So that would be awesome. Let's see if we can make that occur. April 1st. Now stay tuned.
Mom, call the show. Me and you.
No, actually, I tell you what, I disagree. I think every pub would want that. Because it's not this again. This isn't violence. We're not promoting violence.
Oh yeah, no, we're not doing no
this.
violence.
We're not trying to fight anybody. I ain't trying to do that. And listen, there's going to be people there to make sure that you're not even going to get a chance to be able to throw a punch.
No, of course.
Oh God, yeah.
Like I'm going to have a couple people with me to make sure. Because listen, it's not what this is about. You want to have hate, you can have hate. I love the haters. You know?
No, they're the best. They literally are the best. They give you the most consistent viewership of anybody out there. So
in fact, I tell that to people who, the moment you have haters, you're starting to make it. So that's how that works. And I absolutely would. I absolutely would, Mom. I appreciate it. There would be no doubt in my mind. One of my best friends is Army Airborne. He's 6'3", 300 pounds. You better have your full attention when you do that. He ain't going to let nobody touch me ever. Yep. You know what I mean? And he would be at that show. Absolutely. Because it would be one of those things where I'd pay him to be at that show. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't violence. I don't want to promote the violence. It's not a matter of that. This is a matter of
box viewers.
we want people to, express why they hate. Listen, there is a lot of hate out there.
Who can roast? Like you call it the roasters or something. I mean, we're not there to roast you. We're not out there to hit you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that's part of the I think it would be so much fun. I think that it would be awesome. So and
Bo, did you just see what happened though a minute ago? Your mom literally scolded you on the internet saying, "You better not, Bo. You better come home safe, Bo. Better not hear about you fighting, Bo."
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
listen, Bo's probably in better shape than all of us. He's got to bring his wife, and his wife is going to kick all those guys' asses.
I mean,
there says Feather Freeberg. She's telling you she starts it out with no heat, no fighting, but then she ends it up with, "You better be safe, Bo. Don't be touching nobody."
No, she wasn't even talking to me. She was talking to Pags.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
and
I'll tell you. I believe they would show up. I don't know that they would show up.
The numbers in person wouldn't be high.
No, because internet bullies, and I'd be willing to bet and the other thing is that, hey, listen, anybody can talk, but I'm not going to show their faces either. You know what I mean? Unless you give, permission, but I've learned
the
hard way. Because people can do weirdo things. The first time I ever did a call-in show live on YouTube, I had this kid, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I couldn't tell what he was doing. He was putting his bird on the camera.
Oh Lord!
And I sat there and I fumbled right away because I had to get him off.
Yeah.
and immediately I sat there like this for a few seconds because I'm like, what is going on here? Like, what am I dealing with here? Um,
Well,
and
people do the
that's
crazy stuff, though. Honestly,
Yeah, I mean, you almost do need a producer there, right, to kind of mitigate who gets on camera, just
well,
because.
that's what I'm talking about. You do
Yeah,
you have to show your face. We have to be able to see who you are because I can work it out so that nobody sees you on camera. So that's
yeah,
how I would probably do it. We'd hear
yeah.
your voice. We're not going to see your face because truth of the matter is that I want haters to come out, but I don't want the reverse hate to occur either.
No, you don't want people attacking those people.
Right.
Yeah, no,
So,
absolutely.
like, I want this to be a free forum where somebody could come and talk about their feelings.
Yep.
That's what I want. I want this to be a feelings show. We're talking about how.
Well, you know what?
feeling.
We'll even use the burner account that you try and troll us on because you won't comment from your real one anyway.
Exactly. Oh, I love those. I love those. The ones that are they
Yeah.
got zero posts. They're not following anybody, and they've got like
One troll
they're
buddy following them.
they're following like 600 accounts,
Yep.
but there's only like one person following them.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like,
Walking
and I think,
watercolor memories of my mind, feelings of the
What's
way
happening,
we
Sonia?
were.
yeah, it's just like I have one guy. I have one guy on this network who keeps trolling me, and I finally had to block
Oh,
him. I'm
we've all
like,
met
listen,
Mac.
dude.
You can just call him out.
It's like I'm like I have to block you because every time you're like literally you're trolling me and stating bad stuff. You're supposed to be on my team. You could say you can make whatever say. Hey, all right, this is about the teams, the teams, the teams. You made it about me now.
Yeah.
You made it about me, and we're on the same team. So if you can't handle that, sorry, you got to go, man. That's not how
That's
that's
really
supposed to
crazy
work.
is that they would troll you and you're on your team. I mean, I don't like trolling, period, but especially if they're on your team.
Yeah, yeah. I keep that stuff to myself. Like the people who need to know.
I think I know
The
who it
people-
is. Nice.
And all I
Yeah,
know
but
is,
he
hey,
does some stuff on our network, and
uh,
he's just literally a troll. Like he just
Yeah.
and it's not even good trolling. It's just
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And then when other people start like going on his back because it's not about the teams anymore. It's about me personally. Hey,
right.
listen, go. You know what? You need to go away now. Now you need to go away.
Yeah.
And you thought it was funny. You thought it was cute. You thought it was like banter. It's not banter. Because
Yeah.
listen, I could be so much worse. But the problem is that I will get demonetized,
No,
and
100%.
you get to do whatever. So like,
Exactly.
and this is my business. This is what I do
Right.
for a living. It's
Yes.
hard enough as it is. Let alone, you know how hard it is. I have to work to be able to do the things that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's.
The podcasting life is a grind. There is no doubt. Like
It's always been a grind.
it's a lot of work.
And women, I'm sure get it in a much different sense too. Like
No doubt.
women, like women,
you know the women
just
get
because
it.
you're a
Come on.
woman, you're like,
Yeah.
you.
You
What do
know
you
the
do?
women
What
get
do you
it.
know about sports? Like,
Exactly.
what is that? Like, it's like that's how it starts. Like, it's just so.
Yeah, I feel bad
There you
for them
go.
because you
I
know
like
they
that
get it
Sonia's
pretty
bringing the
damn
heat.
hard.
Sonia does bring the heat. She's not somebody I'd mess with her. I appreciate it, guys. I did get that link. I will go over it and maybe we'll bring this up again. Hey, listen, because right now, especially like today, sports is on a slow. We're pitchers and catchers. We had the All-Star game. We had the
Look,
Stadium
man, you know
Series.
pitchers are slow when Bo's over there thinking like, man, we should do some Mary Kay product promos.
What?
What?
Where the hell did that come from?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, no, you never
You know
seen
what?
Mary Kay promos?
Now I know what's happening. If that is the level of trolling you're bringing, you're not allowed on the show. So we're just setting the baseline of like, if it's too dumb, we can't do it.
Right. Yeah,
That's
that's
loud, not Mary Kay. Well, on, Bo's trying to get the pink Cadillac. Come on,
Oh
let's hurry
man,
up.
you're just over there shooting strays all over the place.
Well, obviously, he knows a little bit about Mary Kay.
What's wrong
I
with
mean,
Mary
I
Kay?
didn't know anything about the pink Cadillac or any of this.
Hey, what's
So
wrong with Mary Kay? They make products for men. Mary Kay makes stuff for men. Are you kidding me? They
Oh,
got
so
a
you're throwing
great
on
body
yourself.
wash.
I got
They got a
you.
great
You needed our help
thing that
advertising
exfoliates
for
your
your.
skin.
Got it. You're advertising for you.
Oh, listen, man, they
so much
got
more
great
sense
stuff for
now.
your hair. I'm telling you, man.
To be
Man,
fair,
don't
I
knock
actually used
Mary
to work
Kay.
on those caddies, though. I did work on those caddies back in the day.
There you go, the pink
Hey, let me
Cadillac.
tell you something. If somebody gave me a Cadillac, I don't care if it's pink or not. I'm gonna drive
Hey,
that.
that's a isn't that's a Boss song, isn't it? I love you for your pink Cadillac.
Yep.
Oh man.
So-
Yeah. And let me tell you something. Sonya,
Show got weird. Show
she
got
wears
weird.
Mary Kay. Everybody wears Mary Kay at some point. Everybody I know is born Mary Kay. It's good stuff.
I
Enough
haven't,
about Mary
but,
Kay. We'll move on.
you can probably tell that because I have wrinkles all over my face.
No.
Yeah,
that
I'll be 100%. I'll be 100%. You know, growing up, I'm Italian, so we have very oily skin. And at 14, 15 years old, I had, lots of zits. Mary Kay was the only base because I could find that color because I'm olive, and be
sure.
able to kind of match. So
that makes
yes,
sense.
I did use the Mary Kay liquid makeup back in the day.
I told you pay for it.
We're talking 36 years ago, 37 years ago, like 14 years old, 15 years old. I did use that stuff. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, it's.
Hey, but it worked too, did it? Nobody even knew you had a pimple. You were good.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the products. Like, you just came way out of left field with it.
I did.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll be honest, Paul. I'll be honest, Paul. Since you're talking about the kit, I am not a fan of the kit. And the reason why I'm not a fan of this kit, and it's not like I have a problem with the kit either. It's just that I now have a really difficult time matching the jersey. The way that they did this is a lot harder for me. With the way that the Union kit, they got a whole bunch of triangles. They changed it. It used to be a stripe down the one side, and I would match the stripe on my face. Now I don't get the opportunity to do that because now it's down the center, and they have it's like blue in the center and it's like gold on the side and stuff like that. And it's not like a stripe. It's all these little individual triangles. So I don't
You're
have
going to be a Teletubby with a upside down triangle on your face.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. So I'm going to stay with my old school look on that. And
You just do like the gold and then like the blue band across your eyes. Is that what
I
you're
do?
doing?
But I do the one with the stripe down here, and it gave it kind of like people would tell me it was like a Braveheart look.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
See, there you go. That's
the
tinted
Oxy
Oxy 10.
10. Wow. That was a minute ago.
God, I don't even remember.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you, I don't use it anymore because I'm Italian. Once you get older, you just, your skin is oily. You have oily skin. I don't care. You know what I mean? That's the way it is. In the wintertime, it dries out a little bit, but short of that, it's, I don't get zits anymore. So.
Hey, question real quick, back sports related. So obviously Bronny is probably going to come out next year. Hopefully, I think he comes out next year and goes to pro. What do you think the chances are, percentage wise, that you think Bronny and LeBron Senior play in the same team, or even in the league, just in the league in general together?
It really depends on how badly the Lakers want to keep him there. They may do that. They may do that deal where they bring him on and.
Did we lose you?
I hate when that happens. Well, and that's the thing, Pax, because LeBron says he wants to retire a Laker, and I guess kind of where I was leading that was.
Ronnie's not that great, so I almost made it.
Almost.
Sorry, guys. Almost made it the whole show. Man,
do you think that him and his son will? Because he says he wants to retire later. LeBron says he hopes to retire later. Do you think the Lakers will take a flyer on Bronny if LeBron is still on the team and try to get those two together?
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I was saying before I decided to go to the shadow realm of the internet. I was going to say they probably take a flyer on him to keep LeBron happy and on the roster, because you can burn a roster spot in basketball, right? The final guy on the roster never hits the floor typically anyway, so I could see them bringing in Bronny, despite the fact that he's really not good enough to play, at least as of yet. But I could see him doing it.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting. It'd be interesting if they got like a title to get. Could you imagine the first father son NBA duo, title duo to win the title together? That would be insane.
I mean, they'd have to change a lot of that roster. I mean, because it's full of senior citizens at the moment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think they would ever get that, but it would just be insane if that was to actually be a thing.
Yeah, they won't win. Right. It'll put fans in the stands, right? Like people will show up to watch it happen, and it'll be good for a season. And then when they're terrible, which is likely,
it is.
Then LeBron retires, and Bronny, who knows if he even stays in the league? You know, he'll actually have to improve a ton in real time,
right?
For him to even stay in the league. Not to say that he's bad. I'm not saying that, but he
really hasn't done anything at USC though. That really puts his name on the map.
He needs a lot of development. Like he looks like someone that, you know, definitely isn't going to go one and done in college, and probably needs some G League time to get there. Right. Like if he can develop his game more, sure. Right. But I mean, he'll get a shot because of, you know, who he is, but talent wise, he's got development to do to get there.
Are you surprised that he went the college route instead of maybe going the G League route and trying to get his skills up to par through the G League and make some money on the side?
No, because you still have that amateurism rule. So you use up your college, you know, eligibility as much as you can. And then you go from there, right? Because you already have the NIL. So it's not like he'll make more money in college than he will on a G League team.
Well, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
So you might as well collect the money, use your eligibility while you can. And then once you're out of eligibility, if you didn't get drafted yet, then you go hit the G League, see if you can finish your development and take a crack at it that way.
I actually hear his younger son is the better of the two.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. And I guess I was just asking that because I kind of, in my mind, I was thinking that the G League would develop him faster for the NBA style than to go from college to the NBA. I guess that was my motivation. But you're saying it would be better if he was just to college and he would still get that same level of development in terms of skill sets and things like that.
He's going to get good development in college still. Obviously, he's not going to be playing against the quality of G League, but at the same time, because of who he is, he's going to have cameras trained on him all the time. You know, I think it'd be a better environment for him staying in college for now. But you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Because I mean, it's not like LeBron's going to be around forever, right? So at some point, they're going to have to, you know, probably pull the trigger ahead of schedule on Bronny if this dad-son duo thing's actually going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I think. What do you think, LeBron has? He's 38, right? So I think he's got maybe 2 more years, you know, left in him. Maybe.
Actually,
maybe
I mean, he's playing so well. He's playing so well. He could probably play to 42, 43. Like there wouldn't be anything really stopping him. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, he would have to change his role, but yeah, like he wouldn't be able to. He can't be the guy anymore, right? He needs shooters around him. He needs help. Like he can't will his way to the finals the way he did early in his career. He needs the guys that are around him to actually play basketball and stay healthy, right? Like, which is why guys like AD are a problem, because when they're healthy, yeah, the guy can play, no doubt. One of the best guys in the league. The problem is he's good for half a season and always gone for the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, if he actually had 100% healthy AD that could carry the team and take that pressure off Bron, you're right. Because then Bron could maybe do a little load management and really be effective, you know, throughout the whole season.
I mean, you just asked AD to do two things he doesn't do, though.
So stay healthy
Stay
and
healthy.
be a period team. Yeah,
exactly. Because he
exactly.
doesn't have that dog in him. Like he's
No, he
just not
doesn't.
that dude. Not to say that it's bad, right? Like you are who you are, but anytime he's had to like show out and be the guy, like he's just not quite built for that for whatever reason. Skill set wise, he should have been able to, but just for whatever
Right.
reason, he's not that guy. And then, when it comes to health, that maybe it's just unlucky. I don't know, but I mean, he can never stay healthy. So that's not something you can count on.
It's the world we live in.
Exactly. Anyways, so we are getting close to the top of the hour where, hey, listen, this was a spirited show today for not a lot of things going on. We had a lot of stuff happen today. I mean, we've come up with the date of the hater show.
Hey, I'm encouraged about this. This sounds like a fun day.
Yeah,
and I think hey, listen, we got it. We absolutely should try to get Buffalo Wild Wings to sponsor that.
Yeah.
We should absolutely
no,
try to.
Bo. He's saying you need to start pulling your weight here and go get Buffalo Wild Wings. God knows you need enough chicken and beer. Come on, let's go.
Board. I'm on board. It. I wonder. We'd have to find some sponsorship for some flights so that we could actually get together to do this thing live for sure.
No, we just go to our individual Buffalo Wild Wings in our towns, and we just do it live from there.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking collectively would be hilarious.
Oh, collectively would be amazing, but that would be tough to do.
Yeah.
So like you said, we could just do it kind of like this way, where all of a sudden, it'd be what's it like this? No, this one. Or this one. There we go. So that we could kind of show the Buffalo Wild Wings there, and then we could switch it out, be your Buffalo Wild Wings, and then his Buffalo Wild Wings, and everybody would get the full.
Hey, Mel, can I get some lemon pepper since you're back there? Mel, lemon pepper, Mel.
Mel, the meatloaf. Mel.
It's funny because the one that is in Linwood, Washington, that I go to a fair amount, the way that their building is laid out, I could actually take like the back corner of it because people don't really sit there. So it would actually be a good spot to do the show from. So if I could get them on board, it'd be kind of awesome.
I mean, like I said, because it's not something that's going to be like we're going to be sitting there and then you have them bring a plate of wings. We'll kind of show that off. Because like I said, that might be a 4-hour show. We may have to do 4 hours worth.
Well, if that's the case, I'm definitely going to eat some wings while we're doing it because I'm going to be hungry.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, because
hey, wait, bullshit. I might go down there and talk to the Buffalo. I got Buffalo Wild Wings here too. I'm gonna go talk to them. Hey, look, what would you think of us doing the show here? And showing up some of your different samples. Like, hey, look, this is Houston BW3s and Seattle, and then, well, whatever you got left.
We're doing the hater shows with love from Buffalo Wild Wings.
I mean, someone has to love us, right? So
exactly. Sonia, you could come on the show as well. Like that would be awesome. Just bring. Hey, listen, you don't have to hate us. You could just bring your hate for the owner of the Carolina Panthers. I know that you have a lot of vitriol for him.
Absolutely.
This is, like I said, we are talking about feelings. Whoa, feelings.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but I think that would be a lot of fun. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much. Like I said, coming on and hanging with us today on our show. It's only getting more and more exciting. It seems like we keep getting more and more people watching and tuning into us. So I really do appreciate it. We will be back tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. We will be doing that. All right, they're bringing the Mary Kay. Perfect. There we go. We got Mary Kay, we got Buffalo Wild Wings, and we got Belgian beer. We are kicking it in high gear here. Let's go. Exactly. Hate therapy. That's coming. That's coming.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get it all for you guys.
This show for 2 months, and we already have let's go ahead and do all our haters.
That's perfect. I feel like that's just the best way of going about it. So,
man.
everybody,
So
Again, thank you so much for hanging with everybody. Have a great holiday Monday, and we will see you guys tomorrow at noontime. Take care.
take it easy, guys.